The UNDP-GEF Project Kura 2 is a regional project being implemented in Azerbaijan and Georgia. The main aim of the project is to ensure the sustainable use and access to the transboundary water resources in the Kura River Basin, to reduce water quality degradation, to improve environmental management, and to preserve the river ecosystem.
We were implementing the strategic action plan that had been developed by the countries of Azerbaijan and Georgia to address transboundary and national level water management issues, including water quality, water quantity, ecosystem degradation, and the impacts of flooding and climate change.
The joint work of Azerbaijan and Georgia within the framework of the UNDP-GEF Kura 2 project is a clear example of how scientists and experts from the two countries can unite under one common interest and carry out work that is beneficial to all. After 4 years of work, the cooperation between Azerbaijani and Georgian experts in the management of transboundary water resources and rational use, water quality monitoring and control of the sources of pollution, and awareness rising on the water as a precious resource has proven to be a great success. Joint efforts like these are imperative to creating an ecologically clean environment in both countries.
Inside each country, we established regional working groups from experts from the country, from different sectors, who meet regularly 3 or 4 times a year to discuss also the internal issues about water resources in each country, in Azerbaijan and in Georgia.
One of the project's most important outputs was supporting intersectoral water policy coordination and harmonization at the national and transboundary levels. This output focused on working with the two national focal points and broader sectoral representatives to organize a set of national and regional meetings to discuss water-related issues at both the national and the transboundary levels.
Məhdud su ehtiyatlarının davamlı idarə edilməsi, səmərəli istifadənin təmin edilməsi, ölkənin su təhlükəsizliyinin təmin edilməsi məqsədi ilə dövlət səviyyəsində çox mühüm işlər həyata keçirilir. Üzündə həm su məsələləri, həm transsərhəd əməkdaşlığının qurulması ehtiva edən bu cür layihələrin keçirilməsi həm bizim üçün, ümumiyyətlə region üçün çox böyük əhəmiyyət kəsb edir.
One of the main components of the project is the implementation of river restoration pilot projects. The restoration of the Kirtsanitsi floodplain forest was carried out in close cooperation with the Ministry of Environmental Protection and Agriculture of Georgia and the National Wildlife Agency. For several decades now, the forest park has suffered damage through deforestation and the excessive extraction of sand and gravel from the Kura River. As a result, the Kura River bed has decreased by up to 3 meters, which has led to ecosystem degradation.
This used to be a floodplain for Kura, but as you can see, the Kura River was lowered. That's why we trying now to reconnect this floodplain with the Kura River through this intervention that we are doing with the Georgian Wildlife Agency.
In October of 2020, the installation of the solar panels was completed. These panels now provide the entire floodplain park with a source of clean energy. Importantly, this energy is used to pump water from the Kura River, making it possible to irrigate 50 hectares of forest and refill 8 oxbow lakes.
ასეთი მწვანე და მდგრადი ეკოლოგიურად სწორი ენერგო რესურსებით უზრუნველყოფა ტყე-პარკის განვითარებაში ვფიქრობ, რომ ძალიან ლოგიკურად ჯდება და ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი ნაბიჯია. ისე რომ სულ მალე ჩვენ ვფიქრობთ, რომ ამდენიმე წელიწადში ეს იქნება თბილისელების ერთ-ერთი ყველაზე საყვარელი ადგილი.
Within the framework of the project, a groundwater intake gallery was also constructed, which now provides a high-quality source of water to an old fish farm in the park. Fish farm will produce fish fingers that will be released into the oxbow lakes to restore the lake's fish stock. From there, they will be deposited into the Kura River, which is crucial for the development of the river's ethiofauna.
succeeded to build environmental friendly and ecologically friendly solution, which is the constructed wetland. We build a constructed wetland to take this water and treat it naturally, and then go back to the lake clean. And this wetland is a good example of how to use natural-based solutions to solve a sewage problem.
The protection of the environment has not only attracted the attention of scientists and the media, but also little Soraya. She would like to inform us about the wetland that is under construction on Baby Haji Gabul Lake in Shirvansi. This wetland will help rehabilitate the damage done to the ecosystem caused by the sewage discharged directly into the lake, and will help in the treatment of wastewater.
When wastewater is not cleaned, passengers are carried into the lake. This is not good for birds, fish, frogs, and of course people. This project will use natural processes to organically clean this stinky water.
The constructed wetland will improve the water quality flowing into the lake and reduce the bad smell coming from the water. It also creates a cleaner and healthier environment for those living nearby. The cost of using this technology is lower than using traditional wastewater treatment technologies, and its operation and maintenance cost is much lower compared to traditional methods of wastewater treatment. This outlet water can be reused for fish farming or in agriculture for certain inedible crops as a new non-conventional source of water. The UNDP-GEF Kura Project implemented a demonstration project for the rational use of water resources in the agriculture sector. Kura financed the installation of a drip irrigation system for farmers.
We applied drip irrigation in one site in Azerbaijan, in Satli, to test this methodology in fruit trees and in cotton. Here in Georgia, we developed this drip irrigation in 3 sites. One for Inguri for onion, and one in Kakheti for grapes, and one in Tsalka for potatoes.
Drip irrigation systems were installed on 3 hectares of land in Satli. 2.5 hectares is used for cotton fields and the remaining for fruit trees. The Kura project conducted a cost-benefit analysis study to gauge the efficacy of applying this modern irrigation method. The Kura project partnered with the Amelioration JSC and the Ministry of Ecology and National Resources.
We built an aquaponics center, training center in Azerbaijan. This aquaponic training center is the first training center in this region for these modern techniques to raise fish and grow fish and crops in the same time with the same water.
Aquaponics is a cultivation of fish, vegetables and plants together in a constructed, recirculating ecosystem, utilizing natural bacterial cycles to convert fish waste into plant nutrients. Aquaponic systems are not only eco-friendly and sustainable, provide food security and create sustainable livelihoods, but they are also commercially feasible and make good business sense, especially in a world where natural resources like land and water are dwindling and costs are rising. The UNDP-GEF Kura project provided support to both Azerbaijan and Georgia in adopting a common methodology to estimate the river environmental flow regime. This methodology was applied to the Shamkirchai and Alijanchai rivers in Azerbaijan and in the Aragvi Basin in Georgia.
UNDP-GEF-ის პროექტის მტკვარი 2-ის ფარგლებში ხორციელდება გარემოს დაცვითი ხარჯის შეფასების მეთოდოლოგიის ტესტირება. ეს ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია საქართველოსთვის, რადგანაც პირველად ხდება ასეთი თანამედროვე მეთოდოლოგიით დათვლების წარმოება. საპილოტოდ შერჩეული იქნა მდინარე არაგვი. ჩვენთან ერთად ასევე ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი წვლილში აქვს საერთაშორისო ექსპერტს, რომელიც ხელმძღვანელობს ამ ჯგუფის მუშაობას. ხდება გათვლების წარმოება როგორც ადგილზე აღება სხვადასხვა მონაცემების, ასევე შედარება ისტორიულ მონაცემებთან.
The project agreed with the two countries on a common methodology for estimating the river environmental flow regime and selected one sub-basin in each country to implement a pilot using this methodology. The national teams in each country were trained to implement this methodology. Two final reports were developed based on the results of implementing this methodology in the two countries, etc.
ამ პროექტის მთავარი მიზანი არის კარგი ეკოლოგიური სტატუსის დადგენა. ამისთვის ჩვენ გვჭირდება საველე ჰიდროლოგიური მასალების შეგროვება, რომელიც რა თქმა უნდა შედარდება ძველი ისტორიულ მონაცემებთან, თუ როგორი სახეცვლილება განიცადა ადამიანის ანთროპოგენულმა ჩარევამ.
In November 2019, a team of national experts and the Kura Project national coordinator traveled to the cities of Ganja, Shamkir, Gadabay, etc. to collect thematic data and information at the selected sites located along the Shamkirchay and Alijanchay rivers.
Son 20 ildə beynəlxalq təşkilatların dəstəyi ilə Azərbaycanda bir çox layihələr həyata keçirilmişdir. Bu layihələrin hər biri ölkəmizin su sektoru üçün bir töhfə olmuşdur. Lakin Kür 2 layihəsi bütün bu layihələr arasında xüsusilə seçilir. Bu layihənin özəlliyi ondan ibarətdir ki, əgər digər layihələrdə əsasən texniki hesabatlar hazırlanırdısa, müəyyən tövsiyələr verilirdisə və s. bu layihə çərçivəsində sırf praktik yönümlü pilot layihələr həyata keçirilmişdir. Bu pilot layihələrin ikisinin üzərində xüsusilə dayanmaq istəyirəm. Bunlardan biri Hacıqabulda inşa olunmuş tullantı su təmizləyici qurğudur. İkinci isə çaylarımızın ekoloji axımını təyin etmək üçün metodologiyanın işlənməsidir. Hər iki layihə Azərbaycan üçün innovativ xarakter daşıyır və ölkəmizdə onların tətbiqi üçün geniş imkanlar, geniş perspektivlər var. Belə hesab edirəm ki, gələcəkdə biz bu layihədə qazandığımız təcrübəni Azərbaycanın digər regionlarında da tətbiq edə biləcəyik.
The 8 monitoring stations located in both rivers were surveyed and the water samples and biological samples were collected and analyzed. Groundwater represents about 30% of the world's fresh water and plays a significant role in the global economy. The availability of groundwater varies from country to country. The importance of groundwater as a source for drinking and agricultural purposes is becoming particularly acute in the context of global climate change. This is why the UNDP-GEF Kura Project established a regional working group to assess the available groundwater and surface water resources in the Kura River Basin in both Azerbaijan and Georgia.
The working group recommended installing an online monitoring system for the groundwater in Alazani-Iori Basin. This monitoring system will be used as a pilot to test the efficiency and effectiveness of the use of this technology in groundwater management. The project installed 3 groundwater online monitoring stations in Georgia and 3 in Azerbaijan.
For the integrated water management, underground water resources, there were special new technical equipment was installed in Georgian place and the second transboundary place in Azerbaijan. So now we can change the data freely each other. That gives enormous big developments in this sector.
Online groundwater monitoring systems will play a key role in both the Georgian and Azerbaijani ecosystems. The depletion of groundwater resources and increased control over the use of such resources were the main challenges that needed to be addressed. As such, the installation of this system is considered a remarkable achievement by the project's stakeholders.
Water is the most precious natural resource on Earth. And while we are acutely aware of this fact, we continue to pollute rivers, lakes, seas, and doing untold damage to our planet to the point where the destruction of living organisms is reaching an alarming levels. In addition, the quality of water for drinking purposes is deteriorating, and the use of water for recreational purposes is limited.
The UNDP-GEF Kura Project's international experts on pollution abatement provided Azerbaijan and Georgia with recommendations on strategies to reduce the pollution impacting river systems, focusing on the point source of pollution and industries. 2 national reports for both countries were drafted on the main point sources of pollution along the Kura River Basin, and the geographical map was developed for these sources of pollution.
The experts have identified the 3 main polluting sectors in the Kura River Basin. These are the slaughterhouses, tanneries, and dairy processing. After this, the experts developed a detailed environmental assessment for each sector, for each polluting sector, and then the guidelines were provided by the project experts for these 3 industries. So the industries are taking measures and using the guidelines which are provided by the project experts.
To prevent environmental and water pollution from polyethylene, the Kura 2 project launched a campaign supporting the use of reusable shopping bags. Minimizing or eliminating single-use plastic bags means a world with less plastic pollution, and goes a long way in helping free the rivers from plastic waste and improving overall water quality. Remember, water is life.
Protecting water resources from pollution is one of the main pillars of efficient water management and is especially important during times of drought. National and international experts developed a detailed environmental assessment for the polluting sectors and produced guidelines for the pollution abatement plans. The project also provided a detailed environmental assessment and cost-benefit analysis to serve as a pre-feasibility study for similar industrial facilities that need to improve their environmental performance. The UNDP-GEF Kura project, in partnership with the Ministry of Ecology and Natural Resources and Azersu OJSC, developed the mobile application Hydro Heroes with the non-governmental organization IDEA to celebrate the Earth Day. The water-saving Hydro Heroes mobile application allows Azerbaijani and Georgian citizens to send information and images of water leaks with the exact geographical location directly to the relevant agency via their mobile phones and receive feedback on the status of repairing this leak.
One of the huge efforts and huge activities of our project was the development of Hydro Heroes mobile application, which allows people to detect and report the leakages. As a project, we have left a lot of sustainable materials for people to use and to think about the importance of water in the future.
This mobile application will help significantly reduce the response time required to repair the water distribution network leakages and water losses that result from these leaks.
IDEA was very pleased to partner with the project on many initiatives on water conservation, including the release of the Kura Box publication, launch of the Hydro Heroes mobile app to detect water leaks in public areas, and establishment of the aquaponic training center in Azerbaijan.
At the same time, the application includes entertainment and educational features and works on both Android and iOS platforms. The project partners call on all smartphone users to download the Hydro Heroes application and make an important contribution to efforts to eliminate water loss. With regard to the high rate of water consumption in Georgia, the UNDP-GEF Kura 2 project, with the support of the Environment and Development NGO, organized a series of workshops for students and teachers with the goal of raising awareness on the importance of water as a precious resource and informing them on the best practices to save water in our daily uses.
ეს არის პირველი პროექტი, რომლის ფარგლებში 12 სკოლა არის ჩართული ამ პროექტში და ძალიან კარგია ის, რომ ბავშვობიდანვე ჩვენმა ასე ვთქვათ თაობამ იცოდეს როგორ უნდა მოეხმაროს წყალი და როგორ უნდა გაუფრთხილდეს წყალს.
Due to the global pandemic, it was impossible to continue meeting with students. So it became necessary to continue communication virtually using an e-learning platform. As such, an online educational portal for school teachers and students was developed that included animated videos focusing on the different aspects of water resources. The portal targeted 3 age groups of students. The platform helps raise awareness by using simple, easily understandable language that centers around the protection of the environment and the rational use of water resources.
Within the framework of our communication work, we have implemented a lot of works towards the raising awareness among the population on the water-related issues, such as we hold social marketing campaigns in both countries. Also, we have developed and published a lot of publications.
The project also developed another online portal for the local community, which includes farmers, industries, and local government representatives. The main goal of this platform is to change human behavior towards water and to encourage people to treat water as a precious resource that requires protection and conservation. It also provides valuable information to farmers and encourages them to use water more rationally and efficiently.
The work done over the last 4 years should be accessible and understandable to citizens. Caring for water resources, reducing harmful impacts on these limited resources, and raising awareness of ecological sustainability are among the main objectives of the project and its partners.
ჩვენი ყოველდღიური საკვები პროდუქტის მოყვანას და წარმოებას დიდი რაოდენობით წყალი ჭირდება. შეგიძლიათ შეამოწმოთ თქვენი წყლის ანაბეჭდი და გაიგოთ თუ რამდენ წყალს მოიხმართ.
The UNDP-GEF Kura 2 project created comic books, brochures, Kura box posters, and other educational materials at different intervals during the project's implementation. All of them are related to public awareness raising regarding the rational use of water. The comic book is especially important. The purpose of creating it was not only to provide adults with information on the rational use of water, but to convey this information in language that is understandable to young people about how important it is to take care of our most precious resource found in nature: water, every drop of which matters.
Tematik parkdır və suyun qorunmasına diqqəti cəlb etmək məqsədi ilə yaradılıb. Burada yaradıcı insanlar tərəfindən çəlləklər üzərində rəsmlər çəkilib və həmin bu çəlləklərə səfirlər tərəfindən, bizim rəsmi qonaqlarımız tərəfindən ağaclar əkilib. Biz düşünürük ki, bu kimi park həm yerli əhali üçün, həm qonaqlarımız üçün, bu qala qoruğuna gələn qonaqlar üçün maraqlı bir məkan olacaq.
Access to environmental information is vital to the success of our project. The benefits that we can derive from the earth should be used rationally and wisely. Otherwise, future generations will be left without this most precious natural resource.
As the world suffers from the effects of COVID-19, it is unsurprising that travel and tourism are among the economic sectors most deeply affected by the pandemic. As tourism resumes under the new normal of COVID-19, there exists both an opportunity and an imperative to rebuild the hospitality industry with a stronger focus on sustainability and water conservation. In 2019, the H2O Tel Water Saving Awards were launched as a pilot program, demonstrating how public and private partnerships between governmental ministries and the hospitality industry can promote water conservation in the hospitality sector.
We not only worked with technical level institutions, but we also cooperated with a wide range of stakeholders which were directly or indirectly impacting water resources. These are hotels industries. We have initiated H2 Hotel Awards in 2 countries.
The H2 Hotel Water Saving Awards celebrate hotels in Azerbaijan and Georgia for undertaking innovative measures to reduce water use and water pollution in the hospitality industry. The project organized training courses for the hotel managers on how to monitor hotel water consumption using one of the most advanced tools, called the Hotel Water Measurement Initiative tool. The project also provided guidance to the hotel managers on how to develop innovative plans for water conservation in their hotels. The winner of the first H2 Hotel Water Saving Awards was Pullman Hotel Baku in Azerbaijan and Waimi Hostel and Rooms Hotel in Georgia. The awards will be resumed after the hospitality sector recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic. The UNDP-GEF Kura 2 IWRM Academy is an intersectoral regional capacity building program dedicated to improving the knowledge and skills of professional water managers and key stakeholders in Azerbaijan and Georgia. Integrated water resources management requires that all stakeholders share an understanding of the importance of water as it relates to sustainable development. Instructors were carefully selected to provide the best quality international experts to the region, with combined academic and applied experience.
It is very important that Georgia takes the obligation of transforming its water resources management, namely to shift to the IWRM. It means that we have to manage our water resources according to river basin margins. We call that integrated water resources management. You know that Georgia is very rich with water resources, so the right management is very important for the country.
Trainees that successfully completed the training received signed certificates of completion for each course completed. These trainings are critical to professional development and for appreciating the gifts that water brings to our lives.
To achieve improvement of water resources, it is very important to have effective system of water resources management. And the experience of different countries, especially from Europe, shows us that the integrated water resources management, or we call it IWRM, is the most effective system to achieve our goals in this field. Development and implementation of the integrated water resources management is one of the main priorities for Georgia today. And the main goal of this project was support in the implementation of the IWRM system in our country.
Every day, our planet is approaching a dangerous threshold. Water saving and protection and the rational use of water resources are becoming increasingly crucial. Our efforts alone are not enough to solve this problem. Together, we should be devoted for ourselves and for the next generation, and we must look forward to the future. Knowledge strengthens and protects us.
You have to be careful. Even if you have plenty of water today, maybe after climate change and the population increase, you may not find this water. So don't look for today's, look for the next generation. We have to start from ourselves. The government is working to help, but the people has a role in conserving water and conserving this planet.
One of the most precious resources in the world is water. Sooner or later, we'll face water scarcity. Save water because water is life. Each drop matters.